Hey, what's going on, everybody? Do you know what you need to change the culture in your organization? There's one thing that you should focus on, but I'm going to give you 5 things to look for to see if you have it in your organization. Stay tuned. Welcome to Leadership Legacy Radio, where you inspire you to live your dreams, encourage you to take massive action, and be your authentic and genuine self. We focus on 3 pillars. That's empowering youth, equipping leaders, and enriching marriages so that you can go out and dominate your space.
If you're ready to dominate, you're listening to the right show. This is the Leadership Legacy Radio. Now let's go.
What's going on, everybody? Today I want to talk to you about changing the culture in your organization. Now, the one thing that you need to change the culture in your organization is leadership. Really, that's the bottom line. You need really good, solid leadership. The problem is, I don't know if you've noticed, but we have a leadership deficit in our culture today, in our society today. John Maxwell says, his leadership's sad. And it's true. There's a lot of people that hold the title leader, but they're not truly a leader. You know, what is a leader? A leader is somebody that builds up others, that creates opportunities for others, that elevates others, that lifts them up, that moves them forward. Now, how are you doing that for your team? So let's talk a little bit about what a leader can do to change the culture in your organization, to change the culture in any organization. The first thing that a leader does is they see the possibilities. I remember back in 2006, I was going through school, and one of the things that we were given is this project. The project was to create a opportunity for a program, right? How can we create awareness around this specific thing to one, bring more people along to be excited about it, and 2, to maybe get financial investors. And what was funny is the competition was through the college, and it became NASA Means Business. And so I was part of this competition, and it was super fun because basically they gave us free reign to be creative, and we had to see the possibility in things that could not been possible. So my idea at the time was that we would take and we would combine video games, which at the time were very relevant. Everybody was into video games, and we would use the video game to bring awareness towards what NASA was doing, towards the project that NASA was doing, to bring awareness in the thing. And so we ended up winning the competition with NASA, and then NASA gave the idea to a company. The company ended up creating a game where you explored space, and it was so awesome because we saw the possibilities. But had we been given the confinement that most people do, they'll say, this is how we've always done it, this is how the organization will continue to do it, but they don't see the possibilities of what can happen, what could happen, and what may happen. You can get stuck, right? And most people, they'll see a challenge, they'll see a problem, and they just throw their hands up and give up. But as a leader, you have to be able to see the possibilities. You have to be able to see the opportunities, because how we view things is how we do things. The second thing that a leader must do and look for in an organization is understand the limits, right? What limits do you have? And most people are limited by the things in their mind. You know, Dave Ramsey once said that organizations are not limited by the opportunities, they're limited by their leaders. And that's absolutely true. I have seen so many careers be held back because somebody was scared to take a risk, and they already had everything in their position. You know, the risk was really for the team to move forward and advance, not for them to suffer. And, as a leader, we must be the first ones to be out there. I remember before going into the military, one of the things that was really inspirational to me was seeing all of the leaders, the Pattons, the Washingtons, like all of these leaders, these people that were just doing these amazing things. You would see them in the movies, you'd hear about them, all of these amazing things. And then, to see that some people were scared because of things that had happened. Maybe somebody's career didn't end up the right way because they took a risk, or because something may have happened. You're going to be limited by the leaders in your organization if they don't see the possibilities, and if they don't know that they can be the lid on that organization. The next thing that you want to look for in an organization to really change the culture is the belief. Do you truly believe in the people? Do you truly believe that change can happen? You know, in order to make things move and change in a certain direction, you have to believe it. I remember during one of my last moves, I was part of an organization, and what was interesting enough is that the organization wasn't known as one of high morale. Though it wasn't known of one of excitement and fun. But what ended up happening is a leader came in, and they said that they wanted to change the culture. That was the first part. They believed that they can change the culture. Then they found the people that could galvanize people around them, that can bring people around that can move people towards that direction. And all they did was they got out of the way and they said, here are the things that I want you to do. As long as it's not immoral, as long as it's not unethical, and as long as it's not going to put us at risk, I am going to support it. Is it going to support the people? Is it going to elevate them? Is it going to encourage them? Is it going to inspire them? Then let's do it. We did so many things. We took the entire organization about 4 hours away, and we did a off-site retreat on a beach. I mean, like all kinds of crazy things. All you have to do is believe. But the problem is sometimes, you know, we are limited by what we've seen before. You know, John F. Kennedy once said that everyone has a change the world speech in them. When you believe that you can make a difference, that changes everything. You know, I used to say this a lot before. You know, there's people that struggle with that belief, and what I would always tell people is, I'm gonna give you my borrowed belief, because I believe in you until you believe in yourself. And that's what people need. People need a leader that's, one, inspirational, two, that's gonna believe in them, and then three, that's gonna support them. So, you know, we talked about the possibilities, we talked about the limitations, right? And we talked about the belief. The next thing that a leader must look for in their organization, they gotta find passion. They feel things that other people don't feel. You might feel things that others don't feel. You know, some people call it intuition. You know, I've been on several country transformation trips, and it was something that I was really passionate about, because when I joined the Maxwell leadership team, one of the things that we were able to do is go into the country with John. And what's interesting is these individuals that go into the country, they go as volunteers. They pay their own way. They're not paid to go there. They pay their own way, and they go out there and they invest in other communities. And what was interesting about it is that as you go out there, you're like pouring into the community, you're pouring into the leadership, you're pouring into the economy. And a lot of us go out there to do great things. We go out there to really invest and give these people values-based training. And we've seen countries being transformed as we speak. And what's interesting enough is that the biggest transformation that happens is the transformation that happens within us. That's because the passion that you have spreads, but it also reignites the flame within you. So, you know, I remember that there was the previous president of the Maxwell leadership team, Paul Martinelli, once said that the light that goes on in your life, you know, when the light goes on in your life, that, you know, all you want to do is turn on the light for everyone else. And that's so true. Whenever you find your passion, whenever you're excited about something, you know, I'm super passionate about leadership, about customer service, about team building, because those are the things that were really important to me throughout my career. You know, I remember when I was deployed, I had a really hard time with how we were taking care of the people. And that was where my leadership journey began, because I wanted to make things better. Working 30 days straight, 60 days straight, nonstop, I mean, that takes a toll on people. That's when mistakes start to happen. That's when, you know, errors start to occur. You got to be able to take care of people. And because of that, that started my leadership journey. But then I found this passion for just investing in people and pouring into people, seeing people win. That got me light up. And that's what kind of fueled me and continues to drive me every day, because I want to see people win. I want to see people thrive. And I want to see businesses really take it to the next level. And it starts with great leadership. The last thing that I want to share with you is action. there's nothing else that needs to be said, but you got to take action. As a leader, you got to find your action takers. You got to find your go-getters. You know, one of the things that leaders do is they see in others what they've seen in themselves. If you're a hard charger, you see that hard charger, and you fuel them with good ideas, with initiative, with inspiration, because you know that a small spark can cause a huge fire. And that is what action will do. You got to be able to do and be willing to do the things that others won't do. The hardest thing that you're going to do is be able to take action. But the most difficult thing to do is to take action, because so many people fear failure. And you got to get over it. And, you know, failure is when you give up, not when you have a setback, not when things get hard. You have to overcome this by developing your sense of purpose. And remember that what you're called to do is bigger than you, is bigger than yourself, and it's going to make a huge difference in the world. You are called to make a difference. And if you don't do it, then who will? If not now, when? It's time to change the culture in your organization. It's time to step up into that leadership role. And it's time to be a builder of men, to create an environment that change is possible, that passion is ignited, that vision is acted upon, because action is part of what you're doing. I hope this serves you. I hope you go out and dominate your space, but go out and be a culture changer in your organization and be the leader that you've been called to be.